This stuff is always so dark. My goodness. Crazy. A rye whiskey first released in 2014, the first toasted barrel whiskey of any American distillery, which created a brand new whiskey trend, a new whiskey category, and it's back from Michter's. The Michter's US1 toasted barrel finish rye whiskey. I've had some folks tell me how good this year's is. Let's find out. It's the Mash and Drum. What's up, folks? I'm Jason C. from the Mash and Drum, and welcome back to the show. Like, subscribe, help grow the channel for 2023. Thank you so much for the support. It is that time of year. All these crazy releases are coming out, and also we have the holidays coming up. And just in time for the holidays, let's hear from today's sponsor. It's the game changer, the amazing ZBiotics. Today's sponsor is ZBiotics, and it's just in time, guys. You know why? Because we're getting into the holiday season. Halloween is coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas, get-togethers, drinks. You're gonna be happy that ZBiotics is in your back pocket. It really has become the first drink of the night for a better tomorrow for me. I've been helping out with some whiskey blending. I have Blendageddon coming in now, on my live streams each and every week. So a lot of whiskey that I'm getting to try, a lot of different blends, and ZBiotics keeps me going the next day. How does it work so well? ZBiotics was developed by some brilliant scientists who knew the real problem is not dehydration. It's actually a byproduct of alcohol that is most responsible for rough mornings after drinking. ZBiotics produces an enzyme like the one your liver uses to break down this byproduct. So anytime I know I'm gonna have a few drinks or blend the night of a live stream or go to a little bit of a get together, I take ZBiotics, and the next day I could wake up, get to work, get back to the gym, work out, and still feel great the next day. All you do is drink one of these an hour before you start drinking, and that's it. It's that easy. You should still drink water, stay hydrated, get a good night's sleep, but ZBiotics will make it a lot easier for you to get out of bed, get off the couch, and get your day started. It is real science that works. No random plant extracts, no off-the-shelf ingredients, no sugar added, 100% money-back guaranteed. With all the events coming up in the next couple months, why not try it? Here's how. Get 15% off your first order of ZBiotics pre-alcohol probiotic by clicking the link in the description box and using my code MASHANDDRUM at checkout. On top of that, if you leave a comment below on how ZBiotics has worked so well for you, ZBiotics may choose you to win a free 12-pack. That's right, a free 12-pack. So click the link below in the description, or you could scan that handy QR code right here to take you to the website. So go grab some now, and thanks to ZBiotics and all of you watching for making the sponsors happen. Cheers. So Michter's Master of Maturation, Andrew Wilson, oversees the aging of Michter's toasted barrel rye, and as well as all the other products that they make over there at Michter's. She said that our master distiller Dan McKee and I first select fully matured barrels of our US1 rye. Then we transfer each of those rye barrels for finishing into a second barrel made of special wood, naturally air dried and seasoned outdoors for 24 months and toasted to our specifications, but not charred. Now, the toasted barrel finished rye is designed to showcase the beautiful extratives from a toasted only finished barrel that impart remarkable character and contribute to an exceptional experience. And I think those flavors and those extra sweet flavors that she's talking about, those extratives, I think those are the flavors that have people just going crazy for toasted products these days. As you guys all know, toasted bourbons the last few years have taken bourbon and rye by storm. While the interiors of traditional charred barrels are scorched for about a minute at high heat, toasted barrels are exposed to a lower, more prolonged heat that goes deeper into the wood. Now, this low and slow approach is more time sensitive, it's more expensive than, just doing a traditional, char, but bourbon aged in toasted barrels can bring sweeter flavors and interesting textures to a whiskey, and I think that's why it is this whiskey in particular kind of kicked off such a trend. All right, so let me get this poured here. So according to Master Distiller Dan McKee, the average barrel proof for the Michter's Toasted Rye for the 2023 release is 108.9. The suggested retail price of Michter's Toasted Barrel Finish Rye is $120 for a 750 milliliter bottle, but as you guys know, this one gets marked up just like everything allocated from Michter's does. So since the barrel proof on these vary, mine, just so you guys know, is 109.2, and the barrel I have is 23G2 641. So that's the bottle I have. So if you have the same barrel or bottle, you know, let me know down in the comments. Let's dive in. Man, this one has definitely changed a little bit since I first tried it. When I first opened it, it was liquid candy. This thing was so sweet, but now as it's gotten some airtime, the rye spice is coming to the forefront. You know that this is a rye. It's a little bit minty, maybe a slight hint of like a star anise, like maybe a little bit of a black licorice, but not that artificial, nasty black licorice note, more of a sweet one. There's a little bit of a smokiness to it, which I kind of dig. And that's something I normally get in toasted products. Not every single one, but there's a little bit of a smoke note to it here. But there's a lot of sweet. Maple syrupy. I think that charred toasted marshmallow note that you get with toasted products is definitely here as well. The nose is fantastic. This is nothing but inviting. So cheers. Yeah, for me, the nose matches the palate. I get the mint, I get the sweet, I get kind of like that little bit of a smoky note in the back end, a little bit of a barrel char. I think those toasted notes really come to the forefront. Love the spice here. That's why I think personally, toasted products work better with ryes than bourbons. Bourbon's already inherently sweet. Now you want to add more sweet on top of sweet on top of sweet. Like, when is the sweet enough? If you want that much sweet in your whiskey, just go drink Fireball or liqueur. I want balance, man. I want good sweet, I want good spice, I want something that is balanced. I don't want all those overly sweet flavors, because at what does it not become like whiskey anymore? It just becomes a liqueur. Like, let's be honest. Wow, this is one of the darker, sweeter Michter's US toasted ones that I can remember in a while. This is getting into a like a molassesy territory here. Toasted graham cracker dipped in molasses with a little bit of marshmallow on top. And again, the spice of it, the balance is what balances it out. If it didn't have that finish, if it didn't have that spice, I don't know if I would like it as much, to be honest. You know what? I'm gonna pull out one of my older Michter's barrel strength toasted ryes and just do a quick compare. All right, so this one is from 2020. It's a little bit of a higher proof at 110 right on the dot. So let's see how much of a difference it is. There's, you know, this one was a relatively full bottle. So let's give this a try here. Wow, yeah, even on the nose. This is more of a rye for the 2020. Like, you get all the rye spice. It's not nearly as sweet. Man, the 2023, what the hell's going on? All right, I'm gonna sip the 2020 here. I get the smoke, I get the spice, I get the sweet, I get kind of like that marshmallowy note, a little bit of like that barrel char. The texture is great, but then I go to 2023. 2023's Michter's Toasted Rye has kind of another level of, I'm not gonna say sweet, but it is coming off like darker. There's this, again, this maple syrupy, I think it's kind of a graham cracker note that I'm picking up. There's like a sweet cookie that I'm getting here. Then it's kind of wrapped up in molasses, and it just seems darker. This is like the Darth Vader of Michter's Toasted Ryes right now. I thought that it would kind of fall in line with the others once it opened up, but that's not the case. This has gotten, I still think it definitely has the rye characteristics, but as far as like sweet and dark flavors, this one kind of takes it. This, I need to, man, screw it, let's do it. I'm gonna put this against the Jack Daniel's Twice Barreled Rye. Give me 1 second. So the Jack Daniel's Twice Barreled Rye is 100 proof, heavily toasted, but lightly charred, whereas there's no char with the Michter. So let's do a quick compare here, because I remember the flavors in the Jack Daniel's being just as dark as this Michter's one here. This is a quick compare, guys. This is fun when you do this. Oh, wow. Wow. Okay. Wow, okay. I think the Jack Daniel's Tennessee Rye is actually even darker to some extent, where I think the Jack goes a little more on the smoky side. I think because they added that char level. The Michter's, I think, stays more in the sweet realm. When you kind of compare it, they're equally dark and equally delicious. However, I think you can make the case that the Jack Daniel's Twice Barreled Rye is actually like a slight bit darker in flavor than the Michter's is. However, what the Michter's has that I'm not getting in the Jack is the spice and the finish and the balance. The Jack Daniel's Twice Barreled Rye also gets into a little bit more of a chocolatey, almost coffee bean experience. Whereas the Michter's kind of stays in a little bit of a sweeter realm. It's a little bit more confectionery with the marshmallow and the dark maple syrup, the molasses. This was a fun tasting. I'm gonna have to double base these guys and do it a little bit blind and see. Maybe I'll add a third into the mix. I'm not sure what that would be, but we'll see what happens. All right, let's final break down the Michter's US1 Toasted Rye for 2023. All right, price for this one, as I said, $120 retail for a 750 milliliter bottle. Secondary markup values, guys, you're gonna see these all over the map. I think I've seen these for as low as about $250 to as high as about $400. Michter's US Toasted One, ever since that first release back in 2014, has always had a high markup, and I think 2023 is gonna be no exception. Availability here is going to be limited. Value for $120. The one issue that we have with Michter's always is that their bottles are non-age stated. You don't know how old the whiskey is, and I do wish they would kind of give a little bit more information on that aspect. So I'm going to say this is a little bit below average because there are a ton of toasted ryes out there these days. The most I'd pay, I like this right at $120. However, I do think that this year's is probably one of the better ones in years. Michter's is just killing it this year. The Michter's 10-year, I mean, they're really batting 1,000 so far this year. So I may go up to 150 for this one. Alternatives for this one, there are tons of toasted ryes out on the market, guys. You can look at Starlight, you can look at Penelope, you can look at Foregate, you can look at, there's just so many toasted ryes out there that you can enjoy. However, if you're a fan of the Michter's Toasted Rye in particular, this, however, is a very good year. As far as a recommendation, is it a skip? Is it a try before you buy? Is it a buy, or is it a buy and back it up? I'm gonna say buy for this one. And if you're a Michter's, a Michter's fan, this might be a back it up if you can. I know they're hard to get. I know they're gonna be upcharged at a certain point to a certain level, but if you do end up spending the money on it, whatever that price is gonna be, it's really good. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this review for the US1 Michter's Toasted Barrel Strength Rye. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. If you haven't yet, follow me on Instagram. Let me know what you think about this one if you've gotten a chance to have it. Do you think it's actually a little bit better than some of the previous releases? And how does this actually stack up in the 2023 rye landscape? Do you think this has what it takes to really kind of elevate to the next level? Maybe a top 5, top 3? We'll see what happens. With that said, as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share it with. Cheers. Hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time right here on the Master and Drum. Cheers, folks.
Thank you.